Hello everyone, and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda. Sort of. I mean, it is The Legend of Zelda, but it's just called Hyrule Warriors, not The Legend of Zelda Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, potato.
Yeah, in the end. So as you can tell, once again, I do have my friend card with me.
Hello, everybody. Nice to be back for episode 3 of Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. Going through, and right now, Serene's going through the bazaar, upgrading those she can, and just so that I can get this out of the way. Reminder: costume switch this part because we want to look our best for Fair Woods.
Right. Indeed.
And as I alluded to, at the end of last episode, this is like Fair Woods is where we first get introduced to one of the more plot centric characters of this game, and let's face it, her design is just adorable. Not you said not personally your favorite. Me, okay, I'll admit I've got a soft spot for her coming up, but everyone knows who it is. But I'm just playing coy.
Right. No, I agree. I have a soft spot for her. I love playing as her. But she's not my absolute favorite character in here. Out of all the characters that I personally enjoy, this character is not my absolute favorite. But she's definitely in my maybe top 5. Maybe even top 3.
So not best girl, but definitely one of the better ones.
Right. We will be getting into who is, in my opinion, the best girl in 2 episodes.
Well, whenever we get to her, because I think I know who you're referring to, but gotta be coy for the audience.
I think her first level opens up after what is it?
The whole split thing.
Yeah, the level where everything splits. So.
Yeah, but anyway, just as a reminder, costume.
I did get it that time actually, so that is cool.
Okay, but yes. Anyway, continuing on from what we were going with last time, Overworld 2D, the 2D Zeldas had some pretty decent ones. The 3D ones have been hit or miss up until Breath of the Wild. But then again, Breath of the Wild was kind of Breath of the Wild.
Right. So
it's kind of unfair, but regardless.
Yeah. So, again, The thing about the 2D Zelda games was that they were always, they were always built, screen by screen, and so it was like, okay, we have a screen, what can we put here? So there was always something there. There was, if nothing else, there were bushes or plants or rocks or, the one of my biggest issues with Ocarina of Time, and definitely Skyward Sword, is great big expanse, literally nothing. You walk from Kokiri Forest to Hyrule Castle Town. Between there are, I think, 3 trees.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, and we know. And yes, we know early stuff. Yeah. They were still getting used to it, but still, come on. This holds true even in the 3DS remake. But not to derail this. But hello, Lana. Oh dear Lord, it's good. It's good to see. It's good to see you finally.
Right.
Sorry for gushing. It's just at least for me, Lana is definitely my favorite out of the female cast. Favorite out of the guys. Well, we'll get to him later.
Right.
But
Yeah, honestly, out of the male cast, I would think that Link would be either my favorite or like very close to my favorite. Just because like I really like playing as Link. I maybe it's because I'm a girl, but I like playing as female characters. You know.
Yeah. Hey, this come from a guy like playing it like sometimes I like playing as a female character if just for the variety's sake.
Yeah.
And well, I'll admit I've got a bit of a soft spot for the mage archetype if if War of Time or if Worlds Collide if on this channel has anything to show about it, because love playing my spellcasters, although that was back then, but just the fact that they have all these different options. And actually, now that I think about it, most of the cast is actually made of female fighters. I mean, there's Zelda, Impa, Sheik, Ruto, Lana, Sia, Linkle, Agatha, Midna, Toon Zelda.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's at least 10 playable female characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like, dang. Well, like, whereas compared to the guys, there's Link, Darunia, Volga, Skull Kid, Toon Link, Ganondorf, and the King of Hyrule, and yeah, I think that's it. Unless I'm missing anybody.
I mean, there is like you're actually missing a lot of the characters, because I guess the question becomes: do you count Girahim as male, or do you count him as sort of an it because of the fact that he's a sword?
No. You'll note how when I was listing female characters, I didn't put Fi in there.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the female characters that you did miss is that there are two Midnas.
Oh, right. I kind of lumped Midna together because, let's face it, it's just Imp Midna or Hot Midna.
Well, I mean, that's definitely true. I remember playing Twilight Princess, and you go through all of Twilight Princess with Imp Midna and everything, and like you get to that end cutscene, where you finally see the real Midna. I was just like, the game makes the joke, is my beauty just too stunning for you or whatever, and like literally when I saw that cutscene and everything, like my jaw literally dropped. I'm like, oh my god, she's hot.
Yeah. Even all of that, I was like, okay, I understand why Zant turned you into the imp form, because let's face it, he was definitely jealous of your looks. Oh yeah, I forgot about Zant, but then again, Zant is kind of,
right.
Yeah, he's weird.
Yeah.
But screw it. I might as well bring this up now. The Legend of Zelda's villains, aside from Ganondorf, they have been rather hit or miss. Because don't get me wrong, Ganondorf / Demise Reincarnated, they will always be synonymous with the games, the big bad who come back. But when they tried to be outside of Ganondorf, oh boy, that's a bit of a mixed bag.
Oh yeah, like one of my favorite non-Ganondorf, big boss villains was the Nightmare from Link's Awakening, But one of my least favorite, big bad, non-Ganondorf villains was Bellum from Phantom Hourglass. Absolutely hated Bellum.
Don't get me started.
The character, but like the boss fight, I just hated everything about Bellum.
Okay, I'm going as a concept, like this big old parasite that'll attach itself to people and drain its life force / make it do its bidding. I like that. That's pretty much an homage to the nightmare. But I will say this much it's like, oh man, this is just for me.
Yeah.
And hell, this is even getting into Maladus from Phantom Hourglass, because not Phantom Hourglass, but Spirit Tracks, because that was also one that I really didn't like.
Yeah. I liked Spirit Tracks as the game.
Yeah.
But I always felt like the biggest weakness of Spirit Tracks honestly was like its ending, its final boss,
Yeah, I'll agree wholeheartedly with that. The final boss was pretty lackluster, and this is coming from a guy who enjoys Spirit Tracks. Hell, one of his favorite tracks from Zelda is actually the various songs that you play with the pan flute.
Yeah.
But. Yep. You continue. You go off that. I'll continue with this. But to me, it's like Melodious Beldum. They were in very good games, but when it comes to their actual boss fights and their characterization, just ugh.
Yeah.
Okay. Now.
Why do I not? Oh, it's right here.
Yeah.
Why can I not remember where this one is? I found it.
Yep. But yeah.
I cannot remember.
Also, but then we get into the actual kind of good non-Ganondorf big bads. Vati. Vati definitely holds place in terms of while not my favorite non-Ganondorf villains, is definitely a good one.
Right.
And then we get go ahead before we get to the last one.
Yeah.
Unless I'm missing one.
When Minish Cap had come out, and I say that realizing just how long ago that was. I remember finally knowing what Zelda was by the time Minish Cap came out, and I remember browsing the official Zelda website as they were revealing Minish Cap, and I'm like, oh my god, this game is just going to be amazing, And it was a really good game. But oh crap, hang on, I gotta go save the gift. I remember, Minish Cap, and when it came out, again, not my favorite big bad, but my favorite non-Ganondorf big bad was definitely Vati during the release of Minish Cap. I feel like I should make that noted, because people will be like, oh, so Vati's your favorite? Not now, but then, I had this girlfriend at the time, and she and I would just do random role plays. And there was one point where I literally, God, that was over Yahoo Messenger. Oh my God, nobody uses that anymore.
Remembering back when the internet was still young, that makes me feel old.
Yeah, right?
Anyway,
but we used to do these role plays, and we would, I would role play as Vati, because he was honestly my favorite, non-Ganondorf Zelda villain at the time. And I loved Vati. Everything about him was just awesome in my opinion, he was badass. He freaking rocked like everything. You know, the way that he acted, you know, he's just like, I'm so cool and so powerful that I'm just not even going to bother with you, you know? Like his attitude, you know?
He was very much the, oh please, you think you can deal with me? Like I have more important things. You're not even worth my time. Be gone, knave. Smack.
Right. There was just, I just loved.
There's a treasure chest back there. Yep.
What was that at? Oh, it's just in here? Oh,
yep.
Is that why it wasn't progressing? Because I hadn't grabbed the treasure chest?
Maybe.
I was getting confused. I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing? I just, like, I'm getting so into the, yeah, that's what it was. I had to do that to progress. I'm just getting so, like, into this and talking that I'm, like, not even paying attention to the prompts that pop up. And so I'm completely missing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
when you do these kinds of things, you know, a lot of people are always talk about Let's Plays like, why don't they just pay attention to the game? When you're trying to talk and entertain and stuff like that, it's really hard to also pay attention wholeheartedly to the game and notice everything.
Yeah, it's like trust me, I tried my hand at Let's Playing. Not exactly easy unless you got co-commentators to help pick up the slack. Because let's face it, if you're not the one directly control the game and you're trying to find stuff to say, yeah, it can be a little bit difficult.
Right. I know this opens here in just a second. I'm just like waiting for the game to progress to that point.
Yep. Okay. But yeah. So yeah. Vadi. Good villain. Not the best. Looking back, not that good. But you know, for the time, holy crap, was he cool.
Oh yeah.
And then we get to, well, personally, my favorite out of the non Ganondorf villain, Skull Kid and Majora. And yes, I lump them together because you really can't have one without you can't talk about one without talking about the other.
Right.
And personally, I really liked Skull Kid because while he was antagonistic and villainous, it's because of the circumstances that you learn about. Because he was a little kid that was more or less lost the only real family he had, and turned to something turned to something else to try and fill that void and to try and get their attention.
Right.
So out of all the villains, he's the most tragic because all he wants is his family back. He doesn't, and he's still trying to process it. And then of course there's Majora itself, this parasite that's feeding on Skull Kid's insecurities and anger, just to tempting him to do worse and worse stuff. Because as we see at the beginning of the game, Tails is even like, okay, whoa, this is he drops that hint because this is a little far even for Skull Kid, because they've pulled pranks before, but they've never done something this outwardly malicious.
Right.
So that definitely hints that as bad as Skull Kid has been with what he's done, this might not just be all. This might just be something else corrupting him. And well, oh boy, that ending when Majora's like, well, don't need this kid anymore. Pardon me while I go to the moon and help and make sure Armageddon happens.
Right.
So yeah, that's why Skull Kid and Majora are kind of my favorite of the non-Ganondorf enemies, because it's so their story is so good because it's this parasite taking control of, let's face it, a child that's essentially grieving, and well, that goes into the whole grieving cycle thing that Terminator represents. But that's a discussion for another time. Maybe if we ever get to playing a Skull Kid.
Yeah, I don't that I don't think there's any levels where we play as Skull Kid. That would end up being on. Actually, that wouldn't even end up being on free mode because that's adventure mode. I have to unlock him from the adventure mode to even play him. I actually just recently did that on my home file.
Oh boy, so anyway. But yeah, they're sort of I hate to say this, but unfortunately they kind of hit their peak for non Ganondorf enemies way early.
Yeah. And I will note, I made mention earlier, what did I just do? Okay, I did not mean to do that. I accidentally fast warped when I did not mean to.
Whoops.
Oh, that's alright. That's a good bed here that I need to kill anyway. Yeah, so we did get the Ocarina earlier, which lets me warp to like owl statues. I didn't realize that the game had set my item to the Ocarina, and I used it, and I tried to back out of it, and I guess trying to back out of it auto-selected an owl statue and just took me straight there. And that was kind of unfortunate. But no, like, and this is, I feel like I should actually speak on Majora especially. One big thing that I should note is, I mentioned, Vadi at the time of Minish Cap. He was my favorite, villain when Minish Cap came out and all that. And he was, and again, I mentioned that he's not now. I definitely agree that Majora is a much more interesting villain. And I can easily see where people might get confused when I say that, considering that Majora had come out before Vadi. And so I feel like I should expand on that myself by saying, my first experience with Majora's Mask, okay, I was a dumb kid when I played Majora's Mask, and I got stuck on Majora's Mask for, I kid you not, 5 years. And I say that, and people could be like, how did you get stuck on a game for 5 years? And part of that is that I didn't play it for all of those 5 years, It wasn't like, oh, I played it every day and, for 5 years and couldn't get through it. It was, I played it, I got stuck in Majora's Mask. I was playing the original N64 version of Majora's Mask, and when you do, okay, leave the enemy base, I'm fine with that, or the allied base, I'm fine with this. When you do, when you go to, when you're supposed to go to, Woodfall, off to the swamp and everything, when you start making your way there, there's that tree, and you get a little cutscene in front of the tree. Well, and I'm so glad that they fixed this in the 3DS remake. In the original N64, there is what is supposed to be a path from that tree down into the swamp. Me, as a kid, I didn't realize that that was literally a path. I saw it tapered off into a point. I did not think, oh, that's a path. I thought that's a dead end, and literally never went down that path. And so for 5 years, and I didn't play the game for 5 years, but I did come back to it every once in a while, like, oh, maybe I can try and figure this out. And I never progressed in all of the time. I never once progressed. Okay, where did Goma just go? just said that he retreated from the thing. Oh, he went all the way the heck out there. Okay. But like, I was literally stuck for 5 years on, yeah, and I hate to say it, but yes, it was literally something that simple. But I don't know, it never once ever occurred to me that was a path. It always, to me, looked like that was a dead end. And so I never went down that path. And it wasn't until years later, and I'm talking like years later. I'm talking like, when I say years later, I'm talking like Twilight, I think Twilight Princess was the current game out when I finally went to Majora's Mask and legitimately played it all the way through. And so, for me, you know, when I played through Minish Cap, you know, Minish Cap was a really good game. I had never gotten through Majora's Mask. I had never encountered Majora and all that. You know, I had encountered Skull Kid, obviously, but I had never never known the finer aspects of Majora's Mask at the time. You know, unfortunately. And so, I didn't, I guess you could simply say, I didn't know that there was a game that was as amazing and beautiful and dark, but also very, very light at the same exact time, you know? If that makes sense?
Yeah, it's like, sure, like, Majora's Mask is a dark game when it comes to certain aspects. I mean, yeah. Oh man, like probably one of the darker Zeldas, yeah. But at the same time, there's just while there's darkness, there's also all this, you know, hopeful stuff. And anyway, we're about to finish up this level.
Yeah, we're about to finish up this level. I mean, there is still the ending.
Yeah.
There is still actually an ending cutscene to this level, but
you know, is gonna wrap this up soon.
Yeah, still, it's like Majora just always was like, and still is, honestly, one of, if not is, my favorite villain from the Zelda series. Honestly, legit is my favorite villain. I would say that Ganon, while I like Ganondorf, I would honestly say he's number 2 compared to Majora, you know. So, it's, I really like the dynamic of Majora's Mask. I really like the way the game flowed. I liked how every character not only had a personality, you know, every person in Termina not only had a personality, you know, a name, you know, had something special about them, but they had a full-on story, they had a side quest, you know, and even to this day, like, I have to do the Cafe and Anju side quest at the very end of the game, because I get so worked up by the Cafe and Anju side quest, and like just how, you know, like just they're so in love with each other, and they're so right for each other, and it's just that idea that Skull Kid is literally, you know, in just an hour, you know, just gonna kill both of them, you know. It drives me. I literally, almost every time I play Majora's Mask, when I get to that point, I immediately run to the clock tower at that point, and because I'm just like, I have to deal with Skull Kid, because this is just, it's wrong, you know. I cannot go back in time and undo what I've just done, because I have to see these two people happy, you know?
Yeah, it's like, that's the power of Majora's Mask. Right. To have one side quest alter your game style so much that it's like no, it's like I can't rewind and undo all this. I've got to go up there. I've got to stop this. Got to stop this dang moon from crashing down because I want these two to have their happy ending. Damn it! We've been through so much already. It's not like just this once. Like everyone lives.
Right, definitely. And I know that first off you have to do the Cafe Nanji side quest twice if you want 100% the game, and then you have to go back in time and use the couple's mask and stuff like that. So I know it's impossible. It is impossible for me to 100% the game before I fight Skull Kid. It's... I don't know.
Yeah. Also, while we were talking about the dynamic between Majora and back there, we got the download on Sia, aka. Okay, sorry, what?
Is it the big bad?
Well, kind of, but also...
Oh, it's right now. I could see.
Oh!
We have, Linkle. This was the level I was saying about earlier, that, because it's actually... I thought it was unlocked after Valley of Sears. It's actually unlocked after Far Onwards. How about that?
Ah! Well, I guess they know what we'll be doing next time, then.
Yep, this is definitely the level I'm gonna do next time, because my waifu and favorite character right here. So
because while I may be on Team Lana, Linkle is damn cute. I mean, come on, it's pretty much gender flip Link, but instead of using a sword, she dual wields crossbows.
Right. That's one thing I do love about Linkle is the dual wielding crossbows.
It's like if you took a ranger from D&D but gave them dual wielding.
Well, dual wielding ranged weapons specifically. 4th edition rangers actually got dual wielding as one of their in 4th edition, there were 3 different classes of rangers, subtypes, like what are in 5th edition. And one of those was basically a melee. And they were so overpowered because you literally got dual wielding. And so then you just dual wielded freaking long swords. And then you got magical abilities on top of that, and it was just like you played a ranger and you just decimate everything as a ranger. It was great. I'd never played a ranger personally, but every time I had somebody play a ranger in my D&D group, which I ran 3 4th edition groups. And I had somebody as a ranger in all 3 of them, and they were always the most powerful party member. So
Ranger OP wizard, please nerf.
Right. That's actually one thing that a lot of people were upset about with the 5th edition Ranger, was they were just not as good, and if a lot of people felt that they were the weakest class.
Bullcrap.
Unearthed Arcana actually did go in and redo the entire Ranger class. But unless you use Unearthed Arcana, you kind of are stuck with the normal Ranger. So.
Oh, anyway. Sorry about that, but already going through the bazaar for next episode. But Serene's just excited because for Linkle, so.
Right. I mean, we were talking, so I'm just like, I'll just run through the bazaar real fast so that we can finish the conversation before. So.
Yep. Anyway, outro. Right.
Outro. So yeah, we do hope that you've enjoyed. If you did, please feel free to subscribe. Feel free to check the video description down below for a link to the playlist if you missed any of the other episodes and need to get caught up. Also, feel free to check out my Patreon, also in the video description, where you can get tons of sweet, epic bonuses for donating monthly.
And if you want to hear more of me, I tune into also to this channel for for the Dungeon Forces podcast of Pool of Radiance.
Yep.
Yeah, or if you want to join us live for that, it's Sundays at 6 p.m. when we start the stream. About 6:30 is when we actually start the game. But that varies from week to week depending on who's there, who isn't. But now I'm just plugging other stuff for this channel because
Yeah. So actually, I might expand my Patreon back to including YouTube if I have the ability to record regularly. I literally have not had the ability to record in so long that I removed all of my YouTube stuff from Patreon. So anyway, that said, thank you for watching, and we'll see you all next time.
Ciao.
See you later.